And welcome back. Now, we are fully aware of the situation playing out in KZN and, of course, also the flooding that's taking place. And we've seen at least 4 days of solid rain across the eThekwini region. But Pamela Zonke, our meteorologist, is here. And just to talk to us a little bit more about the situation that has developed and, unfortunately, the disaster that is playing out. I'm just taking a look at some of the pictures, if we can, Pamela, while we're talking. There's a picture that Rob Byrne has put up, Durban floods, the old airport industrial area around the Bluff and that sort of area. And you heard Rob say earlier, nothing, nobody's getting out, nothing happening there. And if you see that picture, you will understand exactly how devastating the situation is. And people, of course, calling on government to assist and all other aid organizations to assist. But as things stand right now, let's just focus on the weather for the time being and what has happened and what are we likely to see.
And unfortunately, it's not opening up, Sakina. So this is the satellite image. So it's still showing that the thick band of cloud still sitting over the southern parts of KwaZulu-Natal as well as the eastern parts of the Eastern Cape. But focusing mainly, like you say, where the disaster has been over KwaZulu-Natal. So we're still expecting that rain to come. We're looking at 60 to 80% chance over that southern parts of KwaZulu-Natal. So it's still going to continue to be bucketing down over KZN. Unfortunately, so any little bit of rain causing more problems. And we're still expecting, while the South African Weather Service has issued a warning over those southern parts of KZN going into the Eastern Cape. So that meaning we're expecting disruptive rainfall, continuation of that rainfall over the region. Now you can imagine we've been having rainfall over the weekend, going into the start of the new week. Today as well, still expecting that rainfall. So it hasn't really opened up so that we can see a bit of some drying and evaporation of that water. So unfortunately, a continuation of this rainfall which we're experiencing today, and then tomorrow we're still expecting about a 30% chance of those showers and thunder showers still coming through. So unfortunately, the weather is not assisting. It has been there, and unfortunately it's still remaining for the better part of today. So going into tomorrow, if I can just bring up the expected forecast for tomorrow, we are expecting it still with that band of isolated showers and thunder showers over much of KwaZulu-Natal. So unfortunately, not opening up in that region. And then on Thursday, only that's the time we start seeing some partly cloudy conditions. Might become fine at times where we see a bit of some sunshine on that Thursday. But unfortunately, most of the damage would have happened. But in terms of KwaZulu-Natal, the Eastern Cape, at least good news then only coming through on that Thursday where we're seeing a bit of opening up in those conditions, Sakina.
Now, you know, Pamela, and I guess that's not the news that people in the area are hoping for, because if they have to expect more wet weather, what can they do at this point, you know, just in terms of trying to stay safe?
And it's a difficult one. I think especially with the Twitter, social media that you're seeing with the rainfall that's there. I think we tend to think that we know the road and my car can get through this. Your car cannot get through it. We always say that just a little bit of rain, about 20 to 30 centimeters of rainfall can actually cause your car to become buoyant. So it's floating, and water is very, very powerful. So people, please, if you can avoid it, do not drive into any flooded streams, low-lying bridges, because you might think that the road is still there, but you'd find over the last few days that it's already washed away. So we caution people, so please do not drive on flooded roads. You do not know if the road is still there, Sakina.
Pamela, there's also, I'm seeing incidents of landslides. So with all of this wet weather, how does that occur?
So you've had a lot of rainfall. The ground becomes saturated. So we usually look at the water table. We say it's actually just filled up all the space that you can think of with the rain seeping in from the rain. If I can just quickly explain. So with thunderstorms, usually, you know, the quick ones that we have here over the Highveld, it passes through 30 minutes, it's gone through, the sun is up. But the rainfall that we've had the past few days, it just sits there. We have that band of cloud just sitting there, pouring out for hours and hours and hours. So it actually doesn't run off. Instead, it goes all the way through into the soil. So that has been compacting on over with the amount of rainfall that we've had. So now you get to a point where your soil is so wet that, especially if you don't have too much vegetation, then the landslides completely out of it can take homes with it as well. And unfortunately, that's the scenes that we're seeing coming out of KZN.
All the more reason why people are asked, if you can, please try and stay in an area that is hopefully safe for you at this point, because there have been a few landslides as well. These are some of the pictures coming through. This is the N2 highway into M4 interchange at Prospecton, and as you can see, there are shipping containers floating there in the water. This is how bad it is. And you can, of course, also go on to Rob Burns' page. He's also documenting all of that. Also, the landslides there, be careful, because a few have been reported. I think there's one here specifically on the N2 North after the M7 Bluff exit. There's been a bit of a landslide there. And there's also another picture of the old airport industrial area, where it is just water as far as you can see. So hearts and minds really going out and praying for those in the eThekwini area. Please be safe. And as we say, our own reporters unable to head out, but as soon as they can, we will be bringing you live coverage of the situation that is unfolding in KwaZulu-Natal with the floods.